Hi, today I'll be sharing with you 5 commonly asked questions in an airline interview, and the data is pretty accurate because these were the questions that were asked to me, my friends for different interviews, different airlines, domestic as well as international. So you can note it down as it might just come handy for you. First question is, why do you want to be a cabin crew or a flight attendant? Now, it's a very common question that interviewers tend to ask and candidates fumble because we don't think it through about the why. Some of us say it has been my dream job ever since I was a child, and somewhat along the lines similar answers. Now it could be your dream job, and there might not be a specific reason, but you have to give a reason, and it's better not to say. Rather, it's better just saying that much part that it's my dream job and ending your answer there. It's not the right thing. Why is it your dream job? Maybe because you are a extrovert who would love to put the skill of being able to talk to anybody or interacting with individuals and use it in your professional life, something like that. Or you really like the idea of customer service because you have this nature of helping people and you want to do that professionally, and you could do that very easily in the aviation industry or service industry. So something like that. Of course, you can say that you love to travel, and this job will give you the opportunity to not only have professional growth but also be able to see the world. But try to keep your answer a little bit more diplomatic of how you will add, how you have the value that you can add to the company. So something along the lines of that, something along customer service, and how you as an individual would be valuable to the company. Maybe something like that, it helps. But again, don't try to say something, make something up that you don't believe in, because the best answers are usually when it's more authentic, when you are being yourself. So try to keep it real, but try to frame your answer before you go to the interview. Try to write it down somewhere so that or you can at least point down that yeah, this is what I want to say if I'm asked a question like that. Question number 2, why this airline? So this is a very common question. I was asked this question twice in 2 different interviews. I'll share the one of why Indigo. So for why Indigo, I had a very specific answer that Indigo is one of the leading companies in India, and it's the only company which promotes women empowerment, and it really aligns with what I personally have the beliefs about women empowerment or women in general in today's world. So it would be an great opportunity to be able to work in a company where my personal vision or personal ideas align with where I'm working, with my working environment. And I did add a few more points about how some factual points, like how Indigo is the only airline which has all female crew and it has the most number of female pilots. So a few points like that. So when you are going for the interview for whichever company, please make sure you know a few actual details and facts about the company, like when was it established, who's the CEO, where all places, destinations do they cover, and where are the bases, some achievement or an award that they got, some special recognition. So make sure you know a few points. So when you frame your answer, sorry about the traffic, when you frame your answer, you can incorporate those facts, and it'll make you sound that yes, you're aware of where you are going, where you want to join, and those are always a plus point when the interviewer is reviewing you. Question number 3 and question number 4 are very similar. That is, tell me something about yourself and tell me something about your family. Now, these are very simple questions. I have previously mentioned in my videos that sometimes they don't check for the content, what you're saying, they see how well you can speak. So when they're asking you to tell something about yourself, they are not interested to know which high school you did your 12th from and where you graduated with what, from where you belong. They are not very interested to know, but they might pick something and they might, further talk to you or make you speak on it. Like, let's say I remember in one of my reviews, this was not interview, okay, this is something else, but since I had applied from Kolkata, now I was asked this question that what opinions do you have about Kolkata's current situation? And this is the time we're talking about when the RG Kaur case had happened. So it was this little, brutal out there. So I was asked that, what are your views? That, on one hand we are talking about women empowerment, on the other hand this is what is happening in reality, and I had to answer them, answer the question, which I did. And that was because I was from Kolkata. Now you might not be asked something according to your hometown, so the easiest way to answer, tell me something about yourself, I got a little away from that question itself, is that my name is Priya, I'm 25 years old, and I am from Pune, and I completed my graduation in BCom honors, and that's it. Your personal information can end there. You can add that I belong from a nuclear family, so most of the time I'm alone, so I like doing makeup, I like making videos on YouTube, I like playing basketball, or I'm a sports person, so this is what I like to do in my free time. I have, let's say you have something unique, okay, let's say you crochet, okay, you do crochet to express yourself, so you can say that I'm a very creative person, so in my free time I like to crochet something, just a few points, okay. If they feel that you're speaking well, your pronunciation is well, you're using correct grammar and everything, they might not ask you anything further, or they might ask you something further based on what you said, or maybe they'll ask you a completely different question. So nothing to worry, it is actually pretty simple to answer when they ask you, tell me something about yourself. Don't go into too much details, keep the bare minimum, 2 or 3 things about you, about your personal life, the facts, okay, that you're 21 or you're 25, and your name, your age, your place, your highest qualification, maybe these 4 points, and then you can add 1 or 2 of your hobbies, and then you can add something else, okay. So that's there. And tell me something about your family. Again, do not make it too long. Don't say I have one elder sister, one elder brother, one younger sister. Don't do that. If you have more than, let's say, one sibling, you can say that I have 2 siblings, or I have a few siblings. I have I grew up in a joint family. I live with my grandparents and uncle, aunt, and everybody. We are a big family, and I'm very happy that I have been able to grow up in a family like that, where I have been able to learn the Indian values and the traditional idea of family that we have in India. And let's say you're from a nuclear family, you can say that I was born in a nuclear family, I just live with my parents and both of them work, so it's mostly me by myself, so I tend to spend my time alone, bettering myself, learning something. Or I like to spend time with my friends because my parents are not very available for me. Or it's just your one parent is working, so you can say that my mom's working, so I get to spend a lot of time with my dad's working, so I get to spend a lot of time with my mom, and we are very close. You might not be close, but you can say that, okay. So all of that, when it comes to tell me something about your family, you can add a little bit. Let's say you're a nuclear family and there's nothing much to talk about your family. You can add that my dad's a businessman, or my dad's a civil servant, and my mom's a teacher, or my mom's a doctor, whatever. A little bit on your mom and dad, and a little bit about yourself, and that is how you answer, tell me something about your family. So there's a very easy follow-up question that comes from the family, that if you get selected, you will have to stay away from your family. You might not be able to stay with them. How will you handle that? So if you have done your graduation, you can tell them this, that I moved out for graduation, and I have lived alone for 3 years or 2 years or 4 years. So yes, I can handle them. My parents, or you can, let's say you were in your hometown for your graduation, or you did not do your graduation, you just finished your 12th. So you say them that I know it's going to be difficult initially, but everybody has to move out of their house at some point. If they are lucky enough, they get to stay, but sometimes some things don't come so easy. So in order to achieve one thing, I have to give up the other. So in order to achieve the job that I really want, the work that I want to do, I have to give up the comfort of home, and I am mentally prepared for that, and I have spoken enough with my parents so that they are a little mentally prepared for it, because it's never easy for any of the parents to let go of their children. So something like this would be a good and crisp and short answer. Try to keep your answer short, but not too short, not like one word. I don't know how they will deal with me leaving the house. Don't say something like that. Keep it positive, keep it short, and keep it very crisp to the point. So that's how you answer these two questions. And now the last question, or number 5, is that what are the qualities that a cabin crew must possess, or what do you think you have? What are the skills that you have that would be helpful for you to be a flight attendant? Now this question can come in various different ways, you know, depending on how they frame the question, but the answer is ultimately same. They're asking about the qualities. Sometimes they do ask about the roles as well. So if they ask you about the roles, they might ask what are the roles of a cabin crew, or they might ask what do you think is the job, the actual job. Now there is a huge misconception that it is only to serve passengers on board. It's not. It's really about the safety, and that's why every airline has a very rigorous training program, and you know, every flight attendant is trained to tackle emergencies, and whether it's medical or it's technical, not technical really, but yeah, hijack situations. There are plenty of movies about it, so I'm pretty sure that if you want to join this line, you are aware that the main job is not to serve tea or coffee or meals on board, but rather to ensure everyone's safe. So yeah, if you're asked about the role, safety of passengers, that's number 1. If you are asked about the qualities, then make sure you give a very simple answer, because it is a very simple answer. You must be approachable, you must be smiling, you know, that comes together, approachable and smiling. You should be proactive. By being proactive, I mean, let's say you see a passenger who's coughing. So even before they can ask for water, you go and offer them water. Maybe they don't need it. They'll say, no, I'm fine, and you can come back, but make sure you do. Okay, when they are boarding, or, you know, when you are seeing them, greet them. They might just look at you and then go away, but you will greet them because you're supposed to greet them. Okay, and of course you have to be very, you know, you must have presence of mind, you must be polite. So all of this, what would you expect if you board an aircraft? What would you expect the person who is hosting you in that aircraft to be like? So those are the qualities you need. Okay, somebody who is a little quick on feet, quick on brain, and very approachable and easy to talk to. These are the very few and easy points or qualities that one needs to be a crew. So yeah, that's it. It's as simple as that. Now one big pointer that I would like to give is that do not copy answers from the internet or from anybody. Take inspiration, take out points. So if you're taking down points from my video, take down the points that I said, like customer service and how being approachable and whatever, and then make an answer of your own. Okay, if you're not too good with English, if you're not too fluent, if you can't think in English, write it down, and you're good to go. Once you write it down, it'll be much more easier for you to remember. And if you write it down, it'll be very easy for you to remember. If you just try to listen and gather information from a bunch of different places, and you think that, okay, I'll string it up all in my mind. If you can do that, amazing, go ahead. But if you cannot do that, then the best thing is you write it down. Write down in proper answer. Okay, if you are not good, a lot of people keep commenting, how am I supposed to improve my English? Well, there are a lot of ways to improve your English, but that's not what I'm trying to get into. What I'm trying to tell you is that at least for your interview, for your preparing the answers segment, you can do this. You can write your answers and don't learn it. Just understand what you're writing. So when you speak, you'll be able to speak. Yeah, you can read it like 2 or 3 times so that you can say to yourself in the mirror and all of that. It will help you in a lot of different aspects, and you will be good to go. And if you have any more questions, feel free to comment and I'll reply you. I do reply to every single comment, so I'll be more than happy to answer. And whoever is going for the interview next, all the very best to you. And if somebody has made it, all the best to you too. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.